Hi, yeah, is that Vibes? Excellent. Could I get a fresh trim with extra Sancho sauce? Yeah, like all the Sancho sauce you have. Yeah, delivery please. Excellent. Oh, no worries, I'll wait. Speedy delivery. What's up guys, James here from BootWizard Boot Reviews, and yes, of course, today we are going to be looking at the brand new Jadon Sancho signature boots, his first ever signature boot, and something that I'm sure not many of us were expecting. Nike haven't exactly been rolling out the red carpet in terms of signature boots over the years. You look at players like Eden Hazard, somebody who was absolutely at the top of his game, one of the best players in the world, a Nike-sponsored athlete, never received a signature boot. Fernando Torres never received a signature boot until he moved to Mizuno. So for them to give a 21-year-old English player who's had a breakthrough season at Dortmund his own signature boot is a pretty big deal, and it's hot on the heels of Kylian Mbappe, who's getting his second signature boot after he debuted this new Rosa colorway in the Champions League final. So what we're going to do today is we're obviously going to, of course, unbox these. Look at the box just alone. And not only that, I have an exclusive. I know what Jadon Sancho's favorite thing about these boots is, what the favorite little element of the design is, and that is thanks to Cleat Addict. He was on a Q&A with Jadon Sancho, asked him this question, and he has gracefully shared the information with me. So head over and subscribe to his channel as well, but it's an exclusive, it's not in any other boot reviewer's video. You're going to find out what Jadon Sancho's favorite thing about these boots is today. So remember to like the video, get subscribed to the channel. My giveaway is still running, so you can still win a pair of Phantom GT Elites. But let's get into it. Firstly, the box. We don't usually spend too much time talking about boxes, but when you're getting a signature release, and seemingly especially a first signature release from Nike, they have gone absolutely all out here. So this is this beautiful blue color that matches in with what you're gonna get on the boots, and it's got all of the elements of the boots in there. So the cages, it's got the Vibes, Too Much Sauce, this metallic silver Vibes logo with the Nike swoosh. I just think that if you're gonna pay a premium for a Nike boot, you definitely want to get something extra, and this looks fantastic. You get the little design logo on the end here. It says Rise by Lifting Others, designed in collaboration with Jadon Sancho, SE11. So we'll get into the SE11 in a little bit, but the Rise by Lifting Others I think is very cool, and that's kind of going to be our running theme through the Sancho collections, I think. So that's a very awesome thing to have. And just so you know, this is an SE boot. Some people care whether it's SE or LE, special edition or limited edition. This is a special edition boot, although it's also clearly very limited because it's sold out in a lot of sizes already. If you do want to pick up a pair, a few places still have them available. Nike's your best bet. I'm going to leave a link just down below in the top comment and in the description. Click there, it'll take you through and you'll be able to see what sizes are left, but you probably want to be fast on this one. Pop in the box open. You see what I did there? You get the big pop-in 24 hours luminous neon sign logo on the inside that you're also going to find on the boots, and then you also get the paper, which again matches the boots in the box. It's that same pattern, everything on it, details, details, details. I've said it so many times, if you're going to charge me a premium, I want all of those extra details, and that's exactly what I've got here. Awesome presentation. Before we get to the boots, we've also got the string bag. So again, it's that same, it's very similar to what you're going to find on the box. You've got the Mercurial branding down the bottom here, the Vibes logo again, that dark blue with all of the different elements that all reflect what's shown on the boots, which I'll obviously explain all of that when we get to the boots. And again, the Rise by Lifting Others, Jadon Sancho SE11 on the bottom there. It's cool that the SE11's on there because it's in the same font, it's the same place, and it's the same design and logoing as you got on those Mbappe boots. So Mbappe's first signature boots were based around his hometown of Bondy, home region of Bondy, I should say, and he had his zip code on the tag that looked a lot like this, with his own personal motto or saying on there as well. And they've done exactly the same for Sancho. They've given him SE11 and he's gone with rise by lifting others. So it's very cool to see that continuation within the line of signature models that's been made by Nike for these young athletes. It's clearly a theme, and I think it's really, really positive. Speaking of extras and details and getting you that little bit extra value for money, because these are 280 euros, you also get, it's very Jordan brand-esque this. There's a lot of talk about Nike releasing Jordan brand football boots. This is a very Jordan brand. You get the keychain, which is on pretty much all Jordan brand sneakers. Apart from this is Sancho sauce, which is a theme that runs through the boots. And that, I love that. It's a very, it fits in with Sancho, with the whole theme of the boots. And I think including it is a really nice little extra. Honestly, if you've got these boots as a collector, don't lose that. It's going to be important to the value of the boots as a whole. And I do think that these are going to hold value or go up in value. I think if you're a collector that's looking to keep things that make a bit of money, this could be one to keep hold of. Before we jump into all the little details, we'll take a look at the boot as a whole. Now, it is, of course, a Superfly 7 Elite. This isn't going to be released as a Vapor, as we've seen with some limited or special editions, and you're also not going to be able to get any takedown models in this boot. It's just the Elite level model, and you can pick up some extra accessories. You can buy apparel and t-shirts and things like that, but in boots terms, this is your only option. So it's still the dual yarn, Flyknit upper and all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to go into it here. I've covered this boot on so many occasions. If you do want to check out a review, then check out the channel. Click the link up above. It will take you through to a review of the Superfly 7. I've done it so many times. The left and right boots are different completely. The patterning, where everything is, it's all completely different between the two boots. The only things that are pretty much the same is the lateral side swoosh here. So in there showing the cage, and in here as well. The patterning is ever so slightly different, but basically that's the only thing that's the same that runs through the boot. And the thing that stands out the most as being different is, of course, the instep. So on this boot, on the right boot, you get pop-in 24 hours in the big neon sign logo, which you saw on the inside of the box. And on this boot, you've got the big South London no ball game sign. A lot of talk about Nike stealing this from a Puma boot from a few years ago. The Puma Future London pack, which had big no ball games on the back. Interesting. Similarly to the Mbappe boot I mentioned previously, the Sancho boot is a bit of a homage to where he came, to SE11, to Kennington in London. And many of the things on here are representative of where he grew up, where he started playing football, things like that. And that starts with this massive neon pop-in 24 hours logo. So the pop-in 24 hours is supposed to be a reference to Jadon, obviously the way he lives his life, you know, lifestyle, pop-in 24 hours. Now, I'm not gonna lie here, there's so much reference on here to pop-in, sauce, trim, drip, things like this. I am too old for these boots. Literally, I'm gonna have to Google what half of this means. But pop-in 24 hours, this is a direct reference to all the chicken shops in the area of Kennington where he grew up that have these neon signs. I actually previously have lived in Kennington in SE11 where Jadon Sancho grew up, and I can confirm a lot of chicken shops, and everybody seems to have their favorite. So the pop-in 24 hours is not just on the instep there, it's in a load of these sections, which are kind of all torn up sections that run around the boot. So you get it here, you get it here, it's in loads of areas around the boot, and that's exactly the same for this grid pattern, which is representative of the cages that Jadon and his friends used to play in. You also find it in the Nike swoosh on both boots. Now, if you're from SE11, you're living in London, the chances of going to find a big green lush pitch to play on pretty slim. So you're going to be playing on concrete in cages, and that's what all this is for. Again, it all ties back to Jadon's heritage. And then just to hammer that point home, on the instep of the left boot, you've got the big South London no ball game sign, something that no young player wants to see, but most young players are going to ignore, which is why we've got this big Megs that's been spray painted over the no ball games. Megs, of course, being nutmegged, a panna for a lot of you younger kids, but yeah, Megs, humiliating, nobody wants it to happen to them, so they've sprayed that over the no ball games, which I think implies that Jadon and his friends were maybe ignoring this sign maybe more often than not when they were out playing. So tying in to Jadon, where he's from, and those pitches, on the end of the laces you get two words: Blue Park. And this is Jadon Sancho's favorite thing about his boots. Now, I said I'd tell you what Sancho's favorite thing about his signature boots was. This is from the man himself, courtesy of Cleat Addict. Those two words in a fairly nondescript font on the end of the laces, Blue Park, are Jadon Sancho's favorite thing about his signature boot with all of this going on. And the reason that he gave for that is because it's a place where him and his friends would used to play in Kennington that's behind the estate where he grew up. And he said you would have to be from Kennington in order to know that. So it's a very personal element to the boot. Everything else can be tied back, can be explained in some way or another by people like me who are not from Kennington. But this is very important to him, and I'm sure to his friends. Blue Park on the end of his laces, so you don't want to be swapping the laces out on these ones. So the final area in the print of the boot is this vibes and too much sauce, which is running through the whole design of the boot. So this is where we're reaching a point where me and this boot are at a very big age disadvantage. So vibes I'm taking as positive vibes, you know, good vibes. You know, you've got to have the right vibes, and that's what Sancho has. And then too much sauce. This is what Sancho has on the pitch. He's got too much sauce for his opponents. He's blowing past you, he's beating them, and he's got so much sauce that it's on his boots, it's coming off his boots. Just too much sauce. Like, if I've got too much sauce, I've got too much hot sauce. Like, spicy. That's a bad idea. There's more details. The right boot has Superfly on it, but it's Superfly trims. So the trim, the drip, all that kind of stuff. Yes, I 100% had to Google that. Urban Dictionary is my friend, Jadon Sancho. He's got the trim, he's got the drip, and he likes the way that that style runs. He's got the vibes. I'm just saying words that are on the boots. Jesus Christ. Superfly trims on there. And then over here, we've got the hashtag SE11. Even I can do hashtags. And the for Jadon running down the front of the boot there. Very cool little additions. And I love the fact that both boots, when I pick it up, are so different. Like, they've got completely different setups, even down to that little logo there with those little, you know, the trim, the scissors just up the top there. Fresh trim is a thing, I've been told. So that's there. And then on the insoles both different as well, and they feature that same Rise by Lifting Others, designed in collaboration with Jadon Sancho, vibes, and SE11. So I would expect to see more Sancho collaborations, more Sancho signature boots, especially if he continues on this trajectory that he's on of just having breakthrough season after breakthrough season, you know, just breaking records, continuing to improve as a player. Maybe in Manchester, but like not for 200 million, maybe like 80. That'd be handy. Finally, just a quick look at the sole plate. There's nothing unbelievable here, but it does tie into that whole graphic, the whole pop-in 24 hours. It's that same colors and it has a neon type effect. I think it's a really nice thing just to cap off this design as a whole. Absolutely cannot complain there. And you know what? This boot, it's not for me. This is not something that I'm personally going to be wearing. It's just so much going on. But this is very representative, I think, of Sancho. I feel like he's had a hand in the design here. It's got some Sancho history in there, where he came from, and it's also got some Sancho like vibes in there. How Sancho wants to play, how he wants to look, how he wants to be perceived, and that's in there as well. So if you are a Jadon Sancho fan, or you're just a fan of boots with a story, then this is a must-have. It's a really well put together boot, whether you love or hate the design. Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle just because the story is so good, but yeah, it's a Superfly. You can't hate it that much. Let me know what you think of the very first Jadon Sancho signature boot. I love the story. I love what they've done with this. So let me know what you think down in the comments. If you like the video or you like the boots, hit the like button, and of course get subscribed to the channel, enter my giveaway. But that's all from Boot Wizard here today. Sancho's got too much sauce, so have I. We'll see you soon. That's hotter sauce. And the other one.